Hello, beautiful people. Well, people. Hello, beautiful souls. I just wanted to hop on, and this has been a theme, something that's been coming up a lot, not only for myself in my own life, but also in all of those around me. Because when you start to do something, or like say you hear a new word that you've never heard before, and then suddenly you hear it all over the place, right? So this is something that I've been doing lately, and I'm just highly, highly recommending it because it feels so good. And you can see I'm a little balmy. It's very, very warm in Hawaii. It's July, it's the middle of summer. It's really, really humid and hot, and we don't typically have AC here, so I have my fans going, but excuse the balminess. So yeah, basically getting rid of all the stuff, all the things in your life that you don't need, you don't use, maybe you even think you need them or use them, but really you don't. So this started several months ago. I was having the sense or the intuition. I've been in Hawaii for almost 10 years. It's been a long time. So every time I've moved, it's a great opportunity to just get rid of a bunch of stuff, right? And usually it's stuff you're like, oh my God, I still have this, or you just accumulate. We accumulate so much. And the more I got rid of stuff in each move, just sort of the lighter I felt. And you can imagine this, when you clean out a closet or do spring cleaning, you're just like, oh my God, this feels so good. And yeah, a couple of months ago, I got the intuition or the sense that I might be leaving the island, before the end of the year. And I don't have, plans to do that right now. I don't know where or when or anything like that. It's just an intuitive sense. It's almost the opposite of, when people get pregnant and they start nesting because they just have this like sense to create this beautiful space for their newborn child when the child comes and all of that. I almost have the opposite. It's like, just if it's not nailed down, I don't want it anymore. It's just this feeling of like, oh yeah, wait, I don't need that. I don't use that. I don't want that. And I just want to pose some questions for you that might entice you to try this out as well. Of course, there's that book that came out a couple of years ago about getting rid of stuff and decluttering by Marie Kondo. I've never actually read that book, so I can't speak to it, but I know that she uses a lot of questions, prompts, like, holding something and asking, does it bring me joy? Does it really, really light me up? Do I just love this so much? Because we keep stuff. We keep stuff out of obligation because we think, I've had it for so long. It's maybe a piece of art on your wall that you loved one time. Like, I just did this today. So I had this a couple of years ago. I saw this painting. It's beautiful, like 6 foot by 3 foot painting of this woman standing on a rock over the ocean. It's like a local Hawaii artist. So I bought it, put it on my wall. And then, yeah, a couple of months ago, I just looked at it and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't bring me the joy that it used to bring me. So instead of keeping it because I spent the money on it or whatever, it's not adding anything to my life. It's not inspiring me. It's not, it just doesn't bring me joy. And so, hey, Greg, and thanks for joining. We're talking about getting rid of your shit, which is so awesome. And I know I'm kind of jumping around here. So anyway, I took this painting to Goodwill today and it felt so freaking good. There was a moment where I was like, oh, it's gone. And I asked myself, why on earth am I attached to a thing? Why would I be attached to a thing? It's a great question to ask yourself. Even sentimental things, right? Like the person who gave that to you or whom it reminds you of is not the thing. They're not in the thing. You can't find them in the thing. It may incite an emotion that you have and make you feel something, but you don't need the thing to feel that way, right? So I've been culling so much that I've been getting rid of stuff that I've had for years that people have given me or reminds me of a loved one. And I thought, they're not in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it go and see what that feels like. And honestly, I can say that the less I have, the more space I have to be, right? And Anurag, one of my mentors, says, the less I have, the more I am. And that doesn't necessarily mean because you're always God, you're always source, you're always exactly who you are, you know, you're always your true essence, but it can feel that way. You can have more access or be able to remember your true nature even more. I think, at least for me, that's been my experience. The less I have, the less clutter I have around me. And, you know, we find like there's this weird thing we have of like hoarding and keeping stuff. You know, and that's a great question to ask. Like, why am I keeping this thing? If you use it, that's great. That's wonderful. Perfect. If it brings you joy, wonderful, amazing, perfect. But also, you are your joy. You are your own source of joy. You don't need anything else to bring you joy at all. And so tying your joy or happiness to objects that don't exist anyway because they're not even there until you perceive them, right? You could just think about the thing that you used to have and have the same exact emotion. So you actually don't need it at all. Let's see, I was going to talk about a few other things, but yeah, that's basically it. So I just wanted to maybe shed a little, or, you know, give a little inspiration for looking at the things that are around you. And I notice as my space begins to clear, then it creates so much more space mentally, right? Like I'm not managing stuff. Yeah, it is called being a pack rat, Greg. But I'm talking about the next level. Like, yeah, hoarding, you know, holding on to crap you don't need. Absolutely, that stuff should go. But even the things, like I watched this documentary probably a month ago on Netflix called Minimalist, and I highly recommend it. And we as, you know, as humans in the world, hey, Austin, think, oh gosh, we need to have all this stuff because it makes us who we are, right? My stuff in some way equals like my value or my worth or my status, right? Like I have nice things, and so I have a home and I own couches and TV, whatever. And so it's also that, and I'm not telling anybody to get rid of anything. It's your choice. But just, can you investigate? Like if you feel cluttered, if you feel like, you know, you want to start this process of a deeper connection to your true nature, to the source that you are, and remember that, then look at all the stuff around you. And does that make you feel that way? Or is it just stuff? You know, like my vision for myself probably in a couple of months is to just have a backpack. And that's my belongings. And I just think, oh my God, that just feels so exciting and so amazing. And that's not for everyone. And I'm not saying everyone should do that. But even watching that movie, Minimalism, and just getting some ideas, right? We can do it with our closet. We can do it with clothes. We can do it, with anything and everything. But, you know, shoes, oh my God, as a woman, like that is so huge. And you think it's such a little thing, like, oh, I'm getting rid of clothes or shoes. But the space that gets created mentally, emotionally, spiritually in your life just by getting rid of stuff is freaking amazing. If it's my crap boy, it's for crap, don't get rid of else. No. Well, if you live with someone else and they have stuff they're attached to, that's, of course, you have to respect that, right? That's not necessarily up to you to get rid of stuff. And even with kids, like there's in that movie Minimalism, there is a guy who wrote a book about minimalism when you have children, you know, because a lot of people will say, oh, I can't be a minimalist, I have kids. And he's like, well, nope, actually you can. It's just, you know, changing the channel, having a little bit of a different perception. So that's my questions for you, is if you look at all the stuff in your house or whatever, ask the question, why am I attached to a thing if I have resistance in getting rid of it? Again, I'm not telling you get rid of all your stuff, although that's very liberating. And I'm doing that right now. If it's not nailed down, I'm basically like, it's going. It's so awesome. But yeah, why am I attached to this thing? Does it bring me joy? Okay, and even if it does, can I still be joyful without this thing? Just, you're not your things, guy. And I know you know this. So it's just, you know, putting it out there. I would love to hear your experiences. I would love to hear any comments or feedback, you know, around this topic. And yeah, let's just have less stuff, right? It's good for everyone. It's good for us. It's good for the environment. It's good for all the people we're here to serve. Let's let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. Okay, I love you guys. You just remember how infinite you are, that you are an infinite being, not actually a human being at all. And I love you. And I'll see you next time. Okay, aloha.